Rock, I'm pretty sure you heard about this story where Shakari Richardson put her hands on her boyfriend at the airport, and then she was offended that the security guards and the police officers would even address her and accuse her of putting her hands on her boyfriend when they already had the footage. And she came back with a apology that wasn't really an apology and whatnot. I don't know if they got that on here, but let's see what they got to say about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have like things that she need to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just like extending grace and mercy and love.
Welcome back to another video of Overreacting. No book of by go by name of Eli. As always, we got Jew with us.
What it do, it's your boy Jew. And make sure y'all hit that like button for us, you heard?
Listen, no Ace. He's still over there in Turkey. I don't know, I really don't even know. We can't even call him. Cell phone is off. Like, we don't even know, man. Y'all gonna have to DM him or something like that.
Yo, we need some money for the podcast. So he went out there, you know what I mean, get shitted on real quick, you heard?
That is true. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got the 2 for 1.
Make sure y'all send us some donations, man, because we need Ace to get back here, you heard?
Listen, this next video, obviously, I'm pretty sure everybody already seen this. It deals with Shakari Richardson, phenomenal track star. But she was arrested recently for domestic violence. She was arrested in Seattle airport, I believe. We got the video of it, and we got the response from her boyfriend. So we're going to play both videos.
You got you recorded this? You got the video? You was there live?
Listen, I got people. I just got people on high places, man. Like, so we're going to check out these videos, and then we're going to come back and give our thoughts.
Oh, boy, working for TMZ. Yeah, you know when you see the arrow, that's her.
First of all, why she pull him like that?
He trying to walk away. Look at this.
Now she's straight in bully mode right now. I ain't gonna hold.
I ain't gonna front. I'd experienced this. I'll try to walk away.
Oh, nah, the mush.
Yo, put
in most cases, it's a lose-lose situation when you dealing with a woman like this, because if you react or you return the same energy she's doing, oh, why he's doing that, he's a man, she's a woman, yada yada yada, you're the bad guy, even though she's the aggressor, and you're just returning to sender. But you will be labeled as the bad guy, and why you put your hands on a woman and you're less of a man. Not that it's two human beings, and don't get me wrong, nobody should be putting their hands on anybody else, but at the same time, you got to be able to protect yourself.
The chap, you've been through this. How many of us try to walk away before, man? It's crazy. What the? You know, one thing about a angry woman, she ain't gonna stop. She ain't gonna stop till she look right.
And she's still going.
Damn. She a runner, she a track star.
It's crazy, man. Let's play the response from the boyfriend.
Personally, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if like she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have like things that she need to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just like extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if like I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like, I just look at like situations like this to just like, take a step back, analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and the human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so That's kind of how I look at the situation. And I hate the narrative too. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? It's so negative. But like I said, it's just like in the state of Seattle, even talking to the cop or whatever, he was just like, if really was nothing I could do. It's just like, I understood. But I mean, like I said, it was just a sucky situation. But she's a human being and a great person. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like we've been able to be like really good teammates like all year. And I hate that narrative too because, you know, us coming together like we're just two like real dominant personalities. And she's, to me, the best female athlete in the world. Like I see it every day. And like, you know, for me.
You said two dominant personalities. I ain't see dominance in that. You know what I mean? Drew, what's your thoughts on this situation?
I mean, first off, from the original video, disappointing. I've had those walks where you try to avoid confrontation with your lady or whatever the case may be, and she just, you know, usually that's go mode for them. The more you try to stop or prevent something, that's when a woman feels even stronger. And I'm just disappointed. I'm happy that, you know, he didn't do anything, but even allegedly, I heard that the whole incident, and this is all alleged, you know, I heard she originally called the cops on him. And I heard that you know, this may be just, you know, regular social media, you know, nonsense, gossip, but they said that she called the cops on him. And once, you know, he wasn't really, you know.
What would you say to somebody that hasn't tried therapy before?
Just ask yourself if what you're doing in your life right now is working. If you have peace, if you have
being aggressive, they look back at the video and they seen that she was the aggressive one. And that's why she got arrested instead. So, I mean, I don't know how true it is, man, but, you know, a lot of men get in these situations where, you know, you may feel like you need to defend yourself, or you may be trying to avoid a situation and it just be too hard sometimes, man. So,
yeah, it's unfortunate to see. It reminds me of the Bow Wow situation, Jay-Z situation, countless situations with black men being abused by their significant others or partners or women in general. And it's really a lose-lose situation. You know, we talk about that a lot in our community. And he did everything. He did the right things. I'm gonna be honest with you. He did the right things, because anything else outside of him just kind of trying to walk away, he would have been arrested and probably been put on the ground, maced, potentially shot. Like, who knows what that situation would have looked like had he would even pushed her off, like, yo, get off me type of situation.
Stop,
like, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Because everybody was there minding their business. Like, they seen this happen, and everybody just minding their business. If that was a man just slightly pushing her or shoving her, there would have been people coming.
The story would have changed, the whole narrative.
Again, we don't talk about domestic violence the same, especially when it's bilateral. Like, you know, a lot of people don't understand that domestic violence happens at almost the same rate. You know, we always talk about black men, you know, abusing black women and domestic violence when it comes to relationships. We also don't talk about how it's, you know, black men suffer the highest domestic intimate partner violence against black women than any other ethnic group of men in America. You hear what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to work on the domestic violence on both sides, with the men against the women and the women against the men. But again, when it's happening to the men, we don't hear about it enough. And then we can't even quantify really the stats, because a lot of black men aren't coming up to the forefront and sharing their experiences. They're probably too embarrassed. They probably feel like they're not a man if they call the cops, or if they X, Y, and Z. So you don't hear a lot of these reports happen, even when it comes to sexual abuse with black men. You know, a lot of it happens often, but you won't hear a black man share his story, or you know, even come out and try to.
Nope, you're gonna hear a black man share a story or really talk about it, because in our community, to speak on that shit or to have that happen to you, then you are considered weak. And if it's the other thing where you were taken advantage of or molested, especially by the opposite sex, you're definitely gonna be looked at as weird and as gay, you know, for somebody else abusing you. Yeah, so it's all negatives about coming out about any of those situations or speaking on them. Like, black men have been abused verbally, mentally, physically, and they just keep it to themselves. I know I have. I've had quite a few young ladies put their hand on me.
Or get the woman arrested or whatever the case is. Even in his rebuttal, he still did his best to protect black women, even though he was on the reverse end of receiving the abuse from black. He was still protecting her career. He was still bigging her up, saying she's the greatest athlete in the world. So even black men have been taught subconsciously that even when we suffer abuse, we should always still then protect a woman in that same sense. You know what I mean? And that's kind of my thoughts.
Can I ask you something though? Do you believe that he had another choice? Do you think it will work out for him if he was honest about what really went down there? I don't see him having a point where him being open and honest about what happened to him helping him in the end.
I don't see a scenario in which he could have been transparent and honest without people looking at him as, like I said, less than a man. He's not a alpha man or he's a beta. And then again,
career too, though. E.
True. That's true. Is he a track star as well?
Yeah, I believe he's an athlete as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not completely sure on.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah, but even in that case, and I hate when men suffer the domestic when they're on the opposite end, because again, the default mechanism is that, oh, he must have done something to got her to want to put hands on her. Even when we see a bunch of videos of men dying.
Yep, I just made a video about that on TikTok. It was a guy, and he said black women don't act like that, so he must have did something for her to act or react like that. Like, it's not a black or white or any race or woman thing. It's just an isolated incident, and she just happened to be a black woman. You don't have to do shit for her to act like that if that's just who she is as a person.
At the hands of black women, which is, a very high stat as well. Like black men die from the hands of black women more than any other ethnic group of men in this country from their significant other. So again, when we see those videos of, on the news where the black woman had killed X, Y, and Z,
Yep.
You go to the comments and what's the number one answer? Oh, he must have did something to deserve him dying, or he must have did something for her to get her so upset that she would have put hands on him. So it's just always this justification when the woman is in the wrong, but when the man is in the wrong, you don't hear black men justifying, damn, you know what, she probably pissed him off and that's why he busted her upside the head. Wait, we don't make those assumptions. You know what I mean? Society is quick to cast judgment on him,
I personally had a friend who got in an issue, and this was like years ago. He had an issue with his mom's, and I was at the crib, but for whatever reason, he wasn't doing anything like back to his mom, but his mom's happened like just scratch his face up. Like he had like scratches all over his face. And she still called the cops on him. He got arrested. And I went to the precinct or whatever. But even while I'm at the precinct with him, making sure he's good or whatever, like the cops there were making fun of him. Like, but they didn't know his mother did it, but they was just like, damn, your chick showed you who was boss. You know what I'm saying? So I could imagine why a man can't really open up about the abuse that he would get from a woman. You know what I'm saying? So, plenty of men probably shared this experience, even the walking away part.
I think a good majority of men, like I don't have the stats,
Yeah.
but I think a good majority of men have witnessed some type of abuse, whether it's physical abuse, domestic abuse, sexual abuse from their significant other. And if we really sit down and have these conversations, even behind closed doors, you will see a lot more men opening up.
Co-producer is going to give you unique sounds that actually fits your track in seconds. Let me show you. First, let it...
When they have a safe space to do so, I'm thinking about solutions to something like this. And again, I'm not saying that she should have got abused by the cops should have came and abused her, whatever the case is. But I think there should be equal accountability and ramifications for, domestic violence, especially if we want to talk about the visibility of, just men being abused by women and women abused by men. We need to take both of it seriously, and we need to hold both sides accountable when they do stuff like that. We can't overlook one or laugh at it or, make fun of it. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't shed light on these important topics. You know what I mean?
And her being a talented, runner or whatever the case may be, I always seem to hear her name in a negative light, and I'm starting to consider like, what if it's her? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if she's doing to draw that negative attention? And do we, as black people, to always just turn a blind eye
Hmm.
to the wrong things?
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up. Actually, I remember not too long ago she was in a relationship with a woman not too long ago. It was
Oh,
I think a Jamaican woman. Yeah, and like I want to say I can't remember the date, but I know it was prior to this relationship. She was in another relationship with a woman, and I remember she went on her Instagram stories and she said how that relationship was abusive.
she said that.
She said that the woman that she was dating in that relationship was abusive.
I don't know if I believe her.
But and when that first came out, a lot of people took her side and was agreeing with her. Like,
Hmm.
I'll bring the the clip or article that she had. A stories. I remember she wrote on her stories. And,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about in the comments. And immediately when I seen this, it made me reflect on that post at that time when she had posted on the stories, and she said that her girlfriend was abusive and whatever the case is. And we all know the domestic violence rates within same-sex relationships,
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
particularly with women. It's not so much with gay men; it's with lesbian couples. They suffer the highest domestic abuse rates among all.
Women love putting their hands on people.
Yeah, so
Women,
part of me lets me know.
women definitely, and I'm not gonna say all women because I don't want to generalize, but some women love putting their hands on people, especially men. And I say that because most women tell themselves, and most of us tell our boys and our sons to don't put their hands on a girl no matter what she do. You're not supposed to put your hands on a girl. So women internalize that as men, boys, young men, kids, male kids were taught not to put their hands on girls. So when they grow up to be men, they also should follow that rule to not put their hands on women. So I can put my hands on him, I can cuss him out, I can disrespect him, I can push him, I can smack him upside his head, and he's not gonna do shit to me because he's not supposed to put his hands on me. Yes, that's what women tell themselves. The women that put their hands on men, the women that disrespect men, and then when a man says something back or have something to say, why you saying something back to a woman? Why you arguing with a female? You acting like a woman. Why you putting your hands on a woman? You acting like a bitch. That's they go to after they the one who started that shit, or they kept picking at you until they got that reaction out of you, which is crazy.
Relationship that she was in with that woman was equally toxic and abusive. You know what I mean? And the way she was treating him, I'm for sure for a fact know that she was doing the same thing. And this is what's on camera. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors. What kind of, you know what I mean? So this is in
Yeah.
public, and I'm pretty sure she was a bit more reserved in public because there was people there, whatever the case. But like when those doors is closed, we don't know what's happening, and that's the crazy part.
For the people that's out here that's in this type of situations, I'm not saying you need to give up on that person, but it's really hard to.
I'll say it. You need to give up on that person. Clearly, they don't give a fuck about you, because if they did gave a fuck about you, they wouldn't be putting their hands on you. They wouldn't be pushing you around, smacking you in your face, hitting you. They wouldn't be doing none of that shit.
Away from that person or expect them to change. Usually when somebody does something, like when you're with an abusive partner, when you forgive them, they now feel comfortable with doing it again because they feel like you would always forgive them whenever they do something wrong. So just try to, you might have to break away from that person or separate yourself. There's better people out there for you. You don't have to deal with abuse, man or woman.
I think if we truly care about domestic violence, we have to protect all victims, even if it's women. And that's the biggest thing I got from this, man. So let us know y'all thoughts in the comments. If y'all agree, disagree with us. What would y'all have done? I always ask y'all, what would y'all have done if y'all was in that situation? Would y'all put hands?
I probably would have did the same thing he did. I probably would have walked away. It's just not in me to put my hands on a woman, so I do try to diffuse incidents like that, because like I've said before, though I've been put in those situations, and it's not really nothing a woman can do or say that's gonna make me step out of character in that instance. you know, and put my hands on a woman, because it's just like a moral code that I live by. You know, and every man don't share that sentiment. So be careful out here, ladies, when y'all, you know, putting your hands on these men or disrespecting these men, telling them how much they ain't shit, they mama ain't shit, and all kind of other things that y'all tell them. 'Cause some of these men will put their hands back on you, or just put their hands on you.
You know, equal. I always say with equality, equal rights come equal left. So you know, would y'all have put hands on her? Would you?
Man
have
is
pushed
supposed to walk away all the time.
Would you have ran? Would you have called the authorities? What would y'all have done in that situation, man? Let us know your thoughts in the
Calling my sister.
That is all. That's a good alternative.
Again, auntie, and my mom could throw her hands too. I ain't gonna hold you.
Those are good alternatives. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
Get my homeboy moms that scratched his face to come pull up too.
let us know your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We drop new content.
That's funny. Man's mom pull up with the hands. That's funny. So with that being said, you know, it's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, comment. You know, tell me how you felt about the video. What would you would have done in this situation as a man? Your woman is hitting on you in a public setting, in a public place. You're around a bunch of people you don't know, she don't know, but yet she can't keep her hands off you. She can't control herself. What would you have done? Alright, y'all know what it is. City Star Team. Tell a friend, and tell a friend, and tell a friend, and tell her friend, and tell her man. He tell his homie and everybody. You know, to come like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all.